Subhanallah. So now we speak about an aspect called mawani'ud dua. Those things which prevent a person's dua from being accepted. Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam has taught us this year. So it's called impediments of dua. So now, what are some of the things which Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam had taught us that could be a means of a person's dua not being accepted? Number one, Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam, he says that a person who makes dua, but while he's making dua, min qalbin ghafil, he has an absent mind, an absent heart. He's not invested in his dua. Mentally, he's not there in his dua. Spiritually, he's not there. Emotionally, he's not there. He's oblivious, he's unmindful, he's mumbling, he's fumbling, he's rambling. Such a dua, how can Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept such a dua? And that is why the scholars make mention that it is actually better to make dua in his own language. That way, if he's making dua in his own language, he's more invested in this dua. He is more sincere in this dua. Then he can ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for whatever it is that he wants. In such a way, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will make it such that his dua will definitely be accepted. Number two, another way in which a person's dua might not be accepted is a person, his intake is haram, eating haram food, he's drinking haram drinks, or he's wearing haram clothes. Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam, it is made mention, ثم ذكر الرجل. Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam made mention of a person, يطيل السفر, who was on a journey, a lengthy journey, and he was aghbar ash'af. This person, he was dusty, his hair was disheveled, and he raised his hands to the skies, and he said that, Rabbi, Ya Rabb, Ya Rabb, that, oh my Lord, oh my Lord. Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam, he says that وَمَطْعَمُهُ حَرَامٌ وَمَشْرَبُهُ حَرَامٌ وَمَلْبَسُهُ حَرَامٌ فَأَنَّى يُسْتَجَابُ لَهُ. This means his food is haram, his drinks are haram, his clothes which he's wearing is haram. أَنَّى يُسْتَجَابُ لَهُ. How can this person's dua be accepted? And often we hear people say that, you know what, I do not eat pork, I do not eat haram. But that very same person is buying halal food with haram money. He's buying halal food with haram money. Money that perhaps the person attained by way of gambling, by way of stealing, or by any other way which is displeasing to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And when he makes dua, how can such a person's dua be accepted? Therefore, it is important for us to be mindful of our intake. The food which we are eating, it should be from a halal, a pure source. And the drinks which we are drinking, as well as the clothes which we are wearing. If these things are halal, everything is, pure, then such a person's dua will be accepted, inshallah. And then the third thing, Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam makes mention that malam yasta'jil. When a person is making dua, he should not hasten in his dua being accepted. A person makes dua and then it's like, a week went by, a month went by, years are going by, and still my du'as are not manifesting. Person stops making dua. In this case, yeah, his dua also will not be accepted. Therefore, when a person makes dua, he shouldn't, put pressure that my dua has to be accepted now. If it's not accepted, then, I'm not gonna make dua again. Such a person is preventing himself from his du'as being accepted.